Good morning, everyone. How are you today? It's Esther here, and I'm back for our second broadcast this week. Hope your week went well. So we have a few minutes to go before we start. Just 5 minutes, so I'll wait. How is your Saturday morning or Friday night? Depends on where you are. It's a great day. You're welcome, you're welcome. Please invite your friends, all the single ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome. Okay, so I will begin in the next 4 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll just give people some time to join us. So this is the Overcoming Stigmatization page where we do a weekly broadcast trying to encourage all the single ladies, even gentlemen, single mothers, on how to thrive in a world of negative stereotypes. And all the principles we are sharing, they are based on a book that I wrote. It's called How a Single Woman Can Overcome Stigmatization. And we always share bits and pieces from the book and other insights learned elsewhere. Aline, good morning. How are you? What time do you wake up? Wow. You're the first person. Good morning. Morning, Aline. How are you this morning? Long time. That's one of our family members on the DSA platform. Very committed, very active. So maybe I should use this time to just recap on what we covered last week so that we don't keep people long. So last week we looked at the first set of stigma, and that is you are single because of your past mistakes or you have issues in your life. And then we looked at, first of all, what are the causes of some problems in a single lady's life. We identified that failed relationships or past negative experiences or negative issues in their upbringing as children. And then we also sought solution for that. We say that, if you are the victim of such a stigma and people are commenting negatively upon you, just take time to evaluate yourself, see the things. Sometimes there's always a truth in a critic. So see what they're pointing at and invest time in self-development and trying to correct those. Where there's emotional issues and baggage, we advise you seek professional help from counselors or psychologists. And we also encourage those single ladies to only adopt one reason why they're still single. And that single reason was given to us by Dr. Sandra Delaja last year. It says that you are single because you have not found a man who has recognized or appreciated your uniqueness. So just embrace that as the only reason and drop all the others that people throw at you. And then we gave some advice to the general public, telling them that please, if you see issues, just extend your hand of help instead of judgment. And also to understand that no one is perfect and we are here to build each other up. And no single person is a bad person, they will all have good aspects in their lives. They could be good intellectually, good in their skills, but maybe they just have one small weakness. So that does not negate. We should always concentrate on their positives and encourage them. And also, we say that, we advise the general public, if you have nothing to say, silence is more appreciated. Okay? And then also, let us not always be in a hurry to judge, there to speak what we are not sure about. And also, oh, that's my alarm to show me that I should start the broadcast. Oh, so okay, yeah. What I was saying, that we should not be in a hurry to speak what we're not sure about, but we should always seek for facts. And yeah, just to encourage single ladies live a fulfilled life. So that's what we covered in our first broadcast. Okay. Hello, Sammy, love. You're welcome. That's my husband. Good morning. All right. So today we are looking at the stigma set 2, and that is peer and parental pressure, dealing with the statement that is common: you are not getting any younger. Interesting, isn't it? Well, okay. Interesting enough that in my book I expanded so much on this aspect in chapter 3. In chapter 3, I talked about the damage caused by culture and societal expectations, and so I just expanded on that problem. But I want to start our broadcast today with a quote from Reverend Kate Coleman, a dear friend of mine who wrote a book, The 7 Deadly Skins of Women in Leadership. That's another great book that you should look out for. So she said that imposed vision is what women live out when they focus on trying to be something that someone else wants them to be. Many women feel guilty if they fail to fulfill the demands of others, or else they may fear being thought of as selfish or self-indulgent. Do you hear that? Yeah. So the question I can ask here is that you as an individual, what do you prefer? To live an imposed vision that is placed upon you by peer pressure, by society, by your parents, or to live the superior vision that is actually from your maker, the one who ordained your life, the one who formed you in your mother's womb? Which one will you pursue? Which one is superior? That's a question I will pose. So let's go on. Actually, there's another quote here that is in line with what we are looking at today, and it's from Dr. Bien Sufficient. She said that the parents, family, and society put so much pressure on young people to get married. Marriage today, to some people, has become like an achievement. Can you imagine? Like an achievement. So, my first point, before we go into age here, is that traditions and cultures were started by man and can also be undone by man. We should never elevate culture above the needed wisdom and understanding of our times. That's very key, because most times we find that the people who started all these cultures, the way we look at marriage, maybe our ancestors, they had their own gods. Maybe by that time Christianity was not yet known, So they had their own value systems that are not in line with what biblical concepts teach us, with what godly principles are about. So they didn't know God. So a time comes that when we have to really question some things here and drop some things that are not useful in our day and time. So the first aspect is the age factor. So let's dive in there. Okay. So research has shown that sexual activity starts as early as 15 years, or even less in some cultures. So the general impression about anyone who is not married or has no partner by age 30 is that they are out of place, they are weird, they are old-fashioned, or they are inexperienced. That's the better word. So this forces many women and girls into marriage unprepared mentally, emotionally, even financially. especially for the men. So being of age, of married age, does not necessarily mean that you're ready for marriage. Actually, the day I started learning what it means to be a man, to be a woman, what a man expects from a man, what a woman expects from a man expects from a woman, and vice versa, I learned those last year when Dr. Sandra Dilaja on his platform was teaching us about, how the differences between men and women, how to raise godly children. And I'm 40 now. So that explains to you that you can be 40 and even 50 and still not be ready for marriage, and still be so ignorant about what marriage really is all about. Okay? So, yeah, so that's my point. So, and also this explains the rush and the pressure to go into marriage because of age. Explains also, is part of the causes of all the chaos in our world today. People going into prostitution, drug addiction, children dropping out of school, being street children, criminals in the prisons, and all sorts of chaos is because the foundation of where they were brought up, the home, had issues. It was because people just came together, no knowledge, just brought a child into the world, and they didn't know what entails to raise a child. So you see that it's very vital to understand this concept and to drop the idea that when you're of age, that means you're ready for marriage. No, it could be a trap into which you can just go in there and just regret the rest of your life. So let us not fall into that trap, okay? So ladies, let's rise up and say no to societal pressure. We are supposed to be the followers and the followers of the author of life, who knows the true meaning of life, and that is God, and not what people tell us or man-made cultures dictate to us. Okay, so before we think that we are of age, first of all, have we learned to solve problems? Because marriage is full of challenges. It's for mature people. We have to develop ourselves, be intellectually mature, emotionally mature, so there's a lot we have to learn. It's not all about age. So the next time someone tells you that you're getting any younger, I have some replies that you can give them. First of all, you can tell them, actually, I'm getting wiser. That's a good one. I'm getting wiser because I'm investing in knowledge and understanding of what it means to be in a marriage. So I'm learning about marriage. I'm working on myself because there are areas I need to smooth out before I can invite another person in my life. And I want to be the best I can be. And also, I'm busy with my calling that is superior than marriage. That's also another thing. So we find that success and quality of life is not dependent on one's age of marriage or on having children. Success is actually dependent on the kind of fruits that your life has produced, the products you've produced, what have you contributed to your community, to your world, to make it a better place. That is more remembered than just having children. Okay, so so I put here an encouragement to say that so as single people, let us get busy. Let us first of all change our perspective of life and on marriage and get busy. When you're busy, first of all, you don't even pay attention to all the stereotypes out there. You're so focused, you're not distracted. So your life becomes more productive as you're engaging in your calling, you're engaging in anything you're doing, you're getting, you're becoming best in that. So as you're doing that and focusing on your calling and all that, first of all, your glory emerges. And when your glory emerges, people notice your good qualities. And the right person can meet you then. Okay. So just concentrate on investing yourself, making your life better, making yourself ready, self-development, knowing all the knowledge out there, and then in the process, that is when you can have you can get the right person. In fact, when you're equipped with the right knowledge, you can identify the right person better than when you're not. So that's what I have to say about age, and I don't know whether you have any questions, any comments about age and all that. So let us learn to discard the age factor that, I'm of age, so I must get married. No. Let us just follow how equipped you are, how ready you are in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding of the concept of marriage. Do you understand who is a woman? Do you understand their needs? Who is a man? What are his needs? What are our differences? And how to raise children. That determines whether you're ready for marriage or not. Okay. Just checking on our time now. We still have time. So let's look at peer pressure. That's another aspect. And I want to read from the book just to share with you some things that I wrote in there. So I'm reading on still under that the damage done by culture and societal expectations. So I wrote here some interesting aspects that relate to peer pressure. One of them is the deceitfulness of marriage displays. Let me read this. By watching television celebrations alone of marriages conducted in several places, or by standing in front of a seamstress shop staring at a beautiful wedding gown, can make many daydream and plan or book some items needed for a wedding, to which there is no right candidate yet. Right from childhood, weddings have been so ingrained in people's minds as some form of activity or event that is the most important day of their lives. You see, in fact, because my message on this platform is that marriage is just a bonus. It's not the real deal. Okay? That's why I don't support people displaying a lot of their photos of their wedding on social media, because sometimes you're sending a signal to a single lady that, oh, you've not arrived yet. Check all this, and then she's looking at your picture and said, oh, when will God bless me too? When will God bless you too? So because my mind has changed, my message is different. I stay away from that. Instead, I just want to encourage them that, there's more to life than just this. Okay? So when you seek first the kingdom, all these other things follow you. That's a true principle that I've experienced in my life as well. What other factor can affect us through peer pressure? The unavoidability of love stories on social media. Even though we determine not to dance to the tunes of people's expectations of us, we cannot stop them from coming to us, even indirectly through advertisements and displays on the media. For those who watch movies or television, they become an easy target. Their emotions get involved with the idea of getting engaged or getting married, or at least sharing a friend who is already married. That's another aspect where the pressure comes in, through social media, through love stories in magazines and television. Okay. Then I wrote there the lack of understanding of the purpose of a single lady's life. It is sad to have others discourage singles, especially ladies, from pursuing their passions by making them think that they are just pastimes. And these milestones like getting married or rearing children are the main duty of a woman. This is totally a lack of understanding of what a single lady is capable of using her years for. So society gives us a message that, okay, the only purpose of a woman is to get married and have children. But that's not true. There's so much grace and gifts that God has invested in each and every lady that is waiting. Creation is waiting for it to manifest. So yeah, the ball is in our hands, ladies. Let's bring that out. Let's shine out more, and then our glory will come out. And of course, the information age. In this jet age, society can easily monitor people, and the person trying to keep on with his or her single life can easily be pressurized, especially through mobile phones and social media. 2 decades ago, this was not so, except for a few promoters given occasionally to singles here and there at socials or functions. This presents opportunity. This present opportunity can be pushy to the singles. So this explains the fact that because you're on WhatsApp, you're on Facebook, anyone can message you, oh, there's a wedding here, oh, there's a wedding here, there's a picture, I got married, So, sometimes you can't protect yourself because of the kind of age we are in. So we need to be more wiser. I'm not saying that you shouldn't avoid attend weddings. No, I'm just saying we shouldn't allow these things to get into our mind and distract us from our focus and understanding of what life really entails. Reconnecting with old buggies. Sorry, I missed that question. Okay, Sammy say that people say age doesn't really matter. That once you are grown and can take care of yourself, you can marry. How true is this? Well, oh my God. This is not true at all. This is the mindset of a lower type of, can I say, I don't want to be rude to say animals, because you watch animals, you see, once their body clock clicks, they just go on the street, meet a female and met and have children. Okay, so that's the mindset. But we as human beings, we are at a higher level. We are thinking people, Homo sapiens. So God has graced us with his own image to live above the animal level. In that before we make decisions, we think through it. We equip ourselves with knowledge. We think, we plan, we prepare. They say that preparation is almost 80% of success. So if you use your time to prepare well, when you go into the marriage, you have less work and struggles to handle. So so let me try to understand the question very well. People say age does not matter, that once you are grown and can take care of yourself, you can marry. How true is this? If that was true, then how come we have high levels of divorce, high levels of children, run away from home? Why aren't prisons empty? So reality has shown us that that kind of mindset is not right. That your age does not mean that you are mature intellectually, you're mature emotionally, that you can take the right decisions. Marriage takes more than just age and biology. Okay, you have to be a problem solver. And now you have to learn to be a problem solver on your own. And now you are inviting another person to join you, and children will come in. So you have to be equipped already to solve other people's problems, and even balance your life such that you're still effective and can still pursue your own purpose. So marriage is more of maturity of the mind, maturity of the psychological maturity, emotional maturity, spiritual maturity, than just bodily maturity. I think that's how I can answer that. Anyone can help me? Okay. How am I doing on time? All right. Okay, we still have some time. So I was still saying reconnecting with old buggies, family members, relatives, or old friends who we reconnect with after a long time due to advancement in study or work. Try to catch up with us, and the few matters that come up on their mind is usually about work and love lives. One can't blame them though, but they should also know that there are other areas that could be of interest to single people. and that is worth more talking about. That's so true. That when you meet someone, the only thing they ask you, how is work? How is your love life? No. Ask me about my calling or my advancements, my studies, or anything else. Okay? So it's very important that we really we try to understand that there are other areas of interest in a person's life. Okay, and also insensitivity of well wishers. Have you ever been at that point where you're just tired of other people, especially the old folks, pointing a finger at you after a wedding ceremony in the words, "You are next," even though it is for good? Well, that alone is enough pressure to get married to just anyone who comes your way. Then, unnecessary pitting faces. In a similar way, it can be unappealing to see pitting faces staring at you because of your long endured status, not having an understanding that in actual sense there is beauty in the wait. No matter how concerned people may be, they need to understand that it doesn't help matters at all. Rather, it makes things worse. So please, let's stop throwing pitting faces at single ladies. Okay? It doesn't help at all. So that is what I had to read about peer pressure. And let me read out some points I have here. It may be difficult to go against the flow, but it becomes much easier when one has knowledge of the truth and analytical thinking. So with practice, you get better at that. So do not listen to other people's opinions about your marital status more than you listen to the opinion of your maker. Okay? So fall more in love with God. And once you do that, you actually find that you love yourself more. You appreciate yourself more. You love your individuality and uniqueness. And you are pushed to make the most of it instead of pitting yourself. So always think about, why should I be like anyone else? Let me be my own person. Okay? So that is also very important to help us. Okay. Oh, time is going. So another advice I can give about peer pressure to single ladies and gentlemen out there is that it may be necessary for you to edit your friends list so that you're surrounded with people of like mind. So, and not people pointing fingers at you. Do not get so attached to human beings because they keep changing. And, some people are not working on themselves and they can drag you back. So, there are precious souls out there that, are waiting and can be your friends. They can build you up. So, let us always be open for that. And also, filter on what you listen to, watch, or read. This will help guard your mind against any form of negativity and pressure. I know that we're surrounded by social media, wedding photos and videos that keep popping up uninvited. And all this suggests to a single lady that the goal and to a single lady that she has not achieved anything yet. It's a lie. Marriage is not a big deal. It's not the end goal and certainly not the reason why you were born. Have you ever wondered why so many married people are not genuinely happy? Okay? They may fake it in public, but deep within, some feel so trapped and living in regret. So such thoughts can really open your eyes to realize that actually what they're pressuring you into, sometimes it's not it's not worth the pressure. Okay? So let's now talk about parental pressure. Okay. Hi, Nino. How are you? Sorry, I hadn't seen you yet. All right. So, parental pressure. How can we handle this? Oh, I have a few things we can talk about first. So, when parents put pressure directly and indirectly on their daughters to get married, this actually poses a danger of rushing into the wrong people, meeting the wrong people, and then ending up with broken hearts and heartaches. So there's that risk of making the wrong decisions we should really guard against. Because sometimes you are pushed by the pressure to please your parents, but risking your whole life, actually risking your whole life. It is so sad. So we should also learn to take hold of our lives. Be the owner of your life. Yes, your parents gave birth to you, which is good, but try to own your life. I think that can help. That can help. And an example of my life, when I was here in the UK, years back, I used to call my parents, oh, mom, dad, how are you? How is everything? How is business? Oh, we are fine. So-and-so is getting married. Oh, yesterday we had a party. We are attending another party next month. We have 4 weddings this month. Yeah. All they would ask me is, they would tell me, is weddings, ceremonies for introduction ceremony. So-and-so is getting married. The other one, do you remember the other one? She's getting married. What about the other one? Oh, she's getting married as well. We have another. Last year we had. So every time I noticed that pattern, I got mad. In fact, I stopped calling them. And they got the message. They stopped all that stories. Sometimes you don't know what to do, but just to ignore them. So unfortunately for my parents, they're so understanding. They got it. They got it and stopped putting that pressure on me. So I've experienced that pressure as well. I know how it feels. So let me just highlight some factors that can be behind parental pressures. And in this context, I'm looking at especially Africans. Oh, African, it's terrible. In African communities, this pressure is so much. Okay, so some parents actually are too materialistic, and they see their daughters as a source of income through bride price. That's a fact in some African societies. So that's why even the girl child, they don't invest a lot of education for her, because they know that after all, she's going to be someone else's property in courts. So that is sad. So with our understanding, we need to change some of these mindsets in our people and make Africa a better place. So other parents want to show off to their mates that their children are settling down. It's a form of prestige, It's a form of prestige when they reach that age, they want to, because they are also invited to their friends' children's wedding ceremonies. So they want to revive them back, and it's like sort of a competition thing, which is sad. And then you hear statements like, I want to carry my grandchildren. I want to carry my children. Okay, my question here is this all you were created to do, to carry grandchildren? There are so many orphans. Go and adopt grandchildren and look after them, but don't pressurize single ladies, please. Okay, so being a parent is a privilege that was given to you by God, to be a steward of that precious soul. God who formed that life knows what that life is meant to be, at what stage and at what time. So you raise that child faithfully. She's grown up to be an adult. Now, as a parent, I think it is wise to just hand over that child to the owner, to the real owner. That is God. And that is also through training that child to seek God, to know God, so that when he grows up, he can easily relate with him, to ask him, God, what am I here for? But the mistake most parents do is they retain the child. Let me say, this is the child. Yeah, this is mine. I got this child. In fact, when I was pregnant, I prayed for her that through her, I'll have 10 grandchildren. She's my property. No, she's not. She belongs to a higher power. I would use that word for our age. Okay? So let us understand that as parents, that children are just an opportunity. It was a privilege for you to raise them. But they have their owner. And that owner determines their lives. Okay. So I put here that why have we narrowed our thinking to just say that life is all about getting married and having children and grandchildren? Why have we descended that low? Okay. So, yes, children are a blessing. They are a blessing. I'm not disputing that. But this is not always the case. If it was, we would have empty prisons. Okay? So, what are my wisdom nuggets here? I don't want to go over my time. It's time already. Parents, please, be supportive to your single children through friendship and understanding. If any parent has not intentionally raised their child to be successful in marriage and has not modeled an ideal marriage to them, then they have no right pushing their children into marriage. If a parent is not enjoying his or her marriage and is not fulfilled as an individual, then they have no business pushing their children into marriage in the first place. Single ladies and gentlemen, if your parents are bothering you with the marriage question, here are some tips, and I'm going to read from my book. On page 15, I wrote about parental pressure, and I gave some tips here. That let your parents know your thoughts about the matter. After all, it's your life, and you know what you want at that point in your life more than they do. The next point, help them understand that you have personal life governing principles and are happy to do things your way. Sometimes it's good to have these straight talks with your parents and even peers. The third point is, it is good to ask your parents some questions too and to hear them out. This boosts mutual understanding and eases their concerns. So you can also ask them, they ask you the marriage question, ask them questions that, okay, ma'am, when you were getting married, how did you feel? How prepared were you? Did you think about this? Did you think about that? So in that, you create a conversation, an environment where you can actually understand each other and move forth. So my last point as we end is, my dear friends, turn your singlehood into strength, and you shall be remembered much more than any married woman or mother of children. Embrace this phase of your life as a gift from God and maximize it to pursue your life purpose. Do not ever fall into the trap of peer pressure or parental pressure. Blessings. So, thank you for joining me on this broadcast, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless and have a fruitful weekend. Bye.